So the webinar is now live. That means anyone who's an attendee can view us, hear us. And they should be showing up just shortly.
Good evening and welcome to the April 21 meeting of the Harbor and Coastal Zone Management Commission. If you're watching at home, you can watch either through LMC TV or through the YouTube channel or through Zoom. And if there's any public comment portion, it's probably easiest to participate by Zoom. Use the raise hand feature if we call for public comments. And if you're watching at home, we appreciate that you're concerned with village affairs. We have a short agenda tonight. For anyone at home who's watching or for anyone who missed it, one of our applicants for this, motion to open the meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Meeting's open. 1165 Grecian, one of the two applicant items that was on for this evening. The applicant contacted the commission and asked to move it onto next meeting's agenda. I think because of an open paperwork issue, we have always permitted applicants to decide that their file is not complete or will be more complete for a future meeting and do that. So tonight we only have one applicant item on the agenda. So we should call 1025 Rushmore.
Good evening, Commissioner and members of HCZM. Well, Amber is promoting everybody on my team. Chair, Commissioner, I think you missed one social mainstream. I think you missed Netflix. You covered them all, but I think you missed Netflix. Are we carried on Netflix?
We don't. I don't think we've made arrangements with Netflix.
Cobra Kai or HCZM. I don't know. I know.
I think they only have 2018 reruns of HC.
I think is Beth with us? Beth Evans. She's our environmental.
Yes.
Consultant. Okay, I just want to make sure. Oh, there she is. Got Beth Evans is present. All right, wonderful. I think everybody's on board. Nunzio, you here, Nunzio?
One of us will text Nunzio to get him on.
Please. Wonderful. I feel like, again, like Ferris Bueller. Bueller. You know, I Commissioner, if you could give us about 45 seconds, because really the heavy lift is with Beth and Nunzio this evening. So if we could just have about 45 seconds more, at least we can start and go from there.
And we have on as attendees Michael Murphy and Fred Chappie. Are they okay?
Oh yeah, Michael Murphy is absolutely on this project.
And Fred?
Fred? Maybe that's Nunzio in disguise.
Or an attendee, excuse me.
Oh, I was just reading a note. Okay, comment.
No,
okay.
Nunzio thought we were second.
Let me see, I'm getting a text. Hold on. No, okay. Peter, did somebody try texting Nunzio?
I just called him.
Okay.
He thought we were second.
It was a fair assumption.
Yeah, it was a very
recently. Sometimes there are last minute updates to the order of the proceedings, and there's not much we can do about that. You need your team. I have no problem with you taking the time that you need to get your people on.
So, Chair, Commissioner, if we could, is there any items that you need to address before I'm just trying to, listen, your time is as valuable as ours. If there's any housekeeping items you need to take care of, we'll certainly await. But if not, I believe we're probably able to go forward because I'm confident that we can go forward and Nunzio can jump in, but.
Well, there's two things I know for sure we're going to want to address. One is the completeness of all the checklist items on Kellogg Sessions, where that was on us. That was due to our inability to turn around comments as quickly as we would have liked last time. And the other, obviously, is you now have an opinion from Beth Evans, which satisfies our longstanding requirement that we have a wetland scientist to opine on the impact on a wetland.
Commissioner, yeah, I'm sorry.
You can, we can take either one of those first, but I see Ms. Evans on my screen, and she's been before this commission enough times to know what we ask and what we need to know to make our records. So we might as well proceed with that.
That's fine. So Chair, I'm sorry, Commissioner, Chair, distinguished individuals on HCD.
Either is correct.
Look, this is our third visit. There were three particular items. Yes, and just to reiterate, you were concerned, the committee was concerned about the net zero fill within the wetland buffer. I do know for a fact that we addressed that issue. So, and also, as you made reference to, we have our environmental scientist joining us this evening, Ms. Beth Evans, and the other 9 comments provided by Kellogg Sessions in their memo was also addressed. So I would agree with you. Beth is readily available. So obviously, if the committee has any questions with respect to the environmental component, here we are. So without further ado.
Ms. Evans, I think we can be fairly brief because I did get your letter. Can you briefly summarize for me your conclusions about the impact of the work in the buffer on the wetland?
Certainly. Beth Evans, Evans Associates. We reviewed the plans for the proposed terrace addition and realignment of the walkway, the stormwater plans, and the erosion and sediment control plans. And based on review of all those items, it is my conclusion as a professional wetland scientist that the proposed application will not have an adverse impact on the tidal wetlands or the tidal wetland buffer.
Okay, and substantially all of the wetlands are on the far side of a seawall. Is that right?
That's correct. The tidal wetlands themselves are actually on the far side of the seawall. The Westchester County GIS photograph, for a change, actually shows a tide line, which I assume to be approximately the high tide mark on the beach face, and that is well distanced from the proposed activity.
Terrific. That is very helpful. I know that at a past session, Commissioner O'Rourke expressed an interest in the completeness of the address of the Kellogg Sessions items. Seamus, if it's okay with you, I'm going to throw it to you for the Kellogg Sessions review.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but I just want to make sure that the committee collectively received both. I think there were 2 documents, April 17th, as well as, I just want to make sure the committee received everything.
I believe so, Andrew. Where I think this topic is resolved with, Esteban can throw in, but I think there were 2 outstanding items that you guys have since addressed. One of which I think we'll probably come back and talk to with Nunzio when he joins, just on the change to the net cut versus net fill. But Esteban, if you're satisfied with the change that they have made to the elevations, then I think we're good on the Kellogg Sessions engineering side.
Yeah, I just took a quick look at it. It seems that they have adjusted the elevations of the proposed infiltration system. The only other question was about the I guess the net fill portion of it. But once I get deeper into the review, then it should be satisfied in terms of the flood portion of the project.
Yeah, I think what we'll want to look at when the right group is assembled is the updated reduced working cut fill chart that now, as far as and be good, Esteban, I think it's a part of our materials here if you had seen it, but it looks to me like the same calculation now with a net cut of 1.25 cubic yards within the tidal buffer. Might be useful from my perspective to just hear how that was accomplished, just to understand it. But it's a different fact than we were dealing with last time, if I'm understanding and reading this correctly.
We, I think folks on the team could potentially address this. We know how the plans have changed to get the cut. I'm not sure if the commission would prefer to hear from our civil engineer designer who made the change, but we could explain it in basic terms if that would suffice.
Well, in order to keep it moving, that would probably be helpful.
Okay.
Usually I'm not speechless, but I sort of, I'm as quiet as you all were before the meeting actually started. I would actually turn and direct us to the April 17th communication from Nunzio, specifically number 6. And let's see if Nunzio can actually be here, because I wouldn't be doing the assessment justice. Oh, wait, is that I see someone joining. Oh, there he is. Yeah, Nunzio. Okay, Nunzio, you have to unmute yourself, pal. You're making the grand entrance.
Okay.
See this gray hair? That just sort of got a little more. I'm just kidding.
Now, I was getting myself ready because I had just got back in, and I figured we were second on the agenda.
We were,
So,
but there was a change. But
yeah,
thank you. Come here, members of HCM, thank you for your patience. We apologize. And now the second guest of honor is ready to discuss. Nunzio, Chair, if you could repeat the question that your members had.
Oh, so the question is, can you walk us through the cut and fill calculations as they exist now, so that we can understand cut and fill for this project?
Can you put me so I can share the screen? I guess I'll get to that drawing.
Sorry, that's already enabled, so you should be able to just
Okay.
green button and it should be.
You got it up there?
Not yet, buddy.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. So basically the calculations are broken up into the areas that you see here, A1, A2, A3, B, which is the upper terrace, and C, which is the planting area. So what we ended up doing was slicing off some, as we discussed last time, some of the proposed patio, the lower terrace extension. So we cut off basically, let me see if I can. We cut the grade from about 0.3 to 0.7, going from, say, the Long Island Sound side to the building, so that we took that much off over that area, resulted in a significant cut. We also, as we discussed, lowered the planting area C, we ended up making a step down from the terrace and then lowering the curb by 6 inches. When all of that is said and done, and you add everything up, it basically comes to a 1.25 cubic yards of cut. I think one of the things in Esteban's last comments were about and I don't know if it was discussed, the flood zone. I tried to clear it up in my memo with where the AE and the X, the boundary line is between the two. He's correct. There is some of the silt fencing and some of the construction fence is going to be on the AE side, but that planting area is on the X side, which is a 500-year floodplain. So pretty much, if you have any questions, specific questions to.
I am probably the commissioner who engages with this issue the most frequently. And I don't. I see what you've done. You reduced the grade on the patio itself and dropped the planters down a few inches, and it makes the difference. It's now a no net fill project in the floodplain. That answers my question. Thank you.
Okay.
I knew coming in that I had basically just those areas to cover. If any other commissioners have questions they want to ask, now's the time to do it.
Yeah, I'll jump in if that's okay to go next. So Esteban, just from looking at this, do you think you've reviewed all the latest documents? I assume that this change is either, not impactful or positive to any kind of stormwater retention in that plan. Is everything consistent and in your mind, properly designed?
Yes, at this point, yes. And this calculation satisfies the other, I guess, demonstrating no compensatory storage. So no, this doesn't seem that's going to impact any properties, neighboring properties, because now it's no net fill. So all my comments are satisfied. I just have to issue a new memo approving everything now.
Okay, and is there any change to the stormwater plan itself or any of the other plans that will come from this that have not been provided yet?
No, I think everything has been updated. The only thing that was updated was the elevations of the difference between the I guess the detention units and the water quality Coltech unit are not at the same elevation. I just had some questions of how the water was going to get from the quality units from the water quality units to the other units, but not it being in the same elevations. It basically satisfies because it's all leveled and the water's going to get through. It will get through and infiltrate as intentionally designed now.
Great. Okay, and then the only other question from me, I think I'm going to hear pretty quickly here that this is not relevant, but I'd like to try to understand everything that's in Nunzio's last memo. And I just didn't know what the floodplain development permit and process was. Is anyone able to give me just the quickest, how that intersects with this project, if at all, and just so I can understand why that was referred to in the reference to number 6?
Well, if I may, the floodplain permit, I think, is just to monitor anything that's any kind of work that is encroaching or is going to pass through the 100-year floodplain. And as I pointed out in this case, the only thing that's going to be there is construction access around the perimeter of the planting area. And actually, some of the silt fencing and the construction fencing is in the 100-year AE flood zone. But there is no construction in there. So I guess it's more or less a permit taken so that the building department can monitor that, things are done properly there since we're right on it. But
Okay.
typically would be more involved with someone actually doing work within the floodplain and showing a balance like Esteban was asking for with the additional storage if you were in fact adding fill and you had to compensate by providing some additional volume storage.
Yes, that is correct. Just based on my initial review, it seemed that a portion of the proposed development was in the 100-year, but as Nunzio, with the materials he updated, clearly shows that it's not in the 100-year, so I had no worries about it. And as long as he was able to show no net fill calc within there, it satisfied my comment.
Okay, thank you, all, and nothing further from me.
Okay. Andrew?
Yes, Commissioner.
Different Andrew.
I'm
Maggio?
sorry. I'm sorry. The distinguished Mr. Maggio, Commissioner Maggio, excuse me. Sorry.
Should we just refer to Maggio and Spats? Should we just forget about go by the second name?
Andrew, I've been
no.
called worse than that.
Sounds like a comedy team. Andrew Maggio, questions?
I'm good. Very, very nicely done. I'm fine.
Okay, and Lisa?
I'm good, thank you.
We're now sharing a screen of I assume somebody's kids. They're lovely.
Oh, sorry about that.
Gentler, kinder side of Nunzio, yes.
Yeah, that's my granddaughters.
What beautiful. Okay, so our standard straw poll. Lisa, you said you had no questions?
No questions, thank
Okay.
you.
All right, our standard straw poll. Do you believe you have enough information to cast your vote on consistency? I'll tell you that I do. Lisa?
Yes, I do.
Seamus?
I do.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we know enough unless, Mr. Spatz, unless you've got something else to give us that you think would affect the outcome at this time, we're going to go ahead and take our vote.
Commissioner, we'd be very pleased for the HCZM to go forward with a vote. We are scheduled to appear before planning a week from tonight. So that would be ideal.
Okay, I'm going to move
Thank you.
that we opine on clean consistency, and I vote yes. Lisa?
Yes, consistent?
Seamus?
Yes, consistent.
Andrew?
Yes.
Okay, we have 4 commissioners present and 4 aye votes. The project has received a clean consistency vote unanimously. Mr. Spatz, Godspeed with your other panels, and hope you can get this project underway and done real soon.
Thank you, Chair. Just a point of clarification, will we be receiving from council confirming this or from village, or just want to make sure that we have our ducks in a row in advance of planning? I'll be happy to take the commissioner word for it, but I just want to make sure we have something.
We do a written resolution, and it sometimes takes us, we're supposed to get it done within 5 days. I can't tell you we always get it
Okay.
done, but we will endeavor to get it done very quickly.
We
You've
would
got a written
really
resolution.
that would be wonderful. Again, we're going before planning a week from tonight, so
Yep.
that would be extraordinary. If I may, I know this concludes our proceeding, and if I can, we're done with this application. Is there a way that I can address Commissioner and members of the committee on a separate, just that's nothing to do with this application, but it more or less it's more like a public comment? Just is that a way? I don't know what the formalities are, but we're done with this application. But
It's extraordinary to sort of have something that's off agenda. If it's something that's going to come before the commission as a vote, then that's probably not permissible. If it's, just sort of as somebody who appears before the commission, I guess.
It's a global Chair, Commissioner. It's actually a global.
Go ahead.
If I can, and I don't want to. Again, I didn't want to start off with it because I didn't.
We're all neighbors here. We all.
Yes. If I can, that would be great. So
go ahead.
Members of my team, we're good. We can talk tomorrow. This has nothing to do with our application. This is just as a fellow co-chair of other land use member committees. It's something I just want to share with. So you're welcome to stay, or you can jam.
Thank you all. We appreciate your time. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Good night,
night.
everybody.
Good night.
Wait a second, put my books down. Great. Commissioner, just let me know when you want me to.
Go ahead. What's on your mind, Mr.
So we had a very interesting meeting the last, a month ago, and I took that to mind. I thought about it, I resonated about it. And over a week ago, I spoke during the public comments portion of the Board of Trustees meeting. And I shared some thoughts about the importance of the Board of Trustees at being receptive to the input from HCZM, Zoning Board of Appeals, Planning. I think this is extraordinarily important to provide for a seamless process as we go forward with various applications. Applications in this community are the lifeblood and the vitality of the community, whether it's a business, a homeowner, what have you, whether it's a complicated project or a very simple project. And I recall during one of the meetings, Commissioner, you would ask, a memo be sent to the BOT for certain, I don't specifically remember what, but I know I've been before zoning board. I know my committee, the Industrial Advisory Committee in the past has done this. And I asked the Board of Trustees to please listen to the chairs and commissioners in the various land use board committees, because it's really hard when we are all going in different directions to accomplish the same goal, which is our community. And I want you as commissioner and members of this fine board and committee to hear that there are members of the community that have your back, that are supporting this. And you can do your job, but unless there's a seamless process and the support of the planner's office, that includes Amber, the consultants, the attorneys, it has to be a collective effort. And I spent time, the 5 minutes of public comment, talking about that. And I even waited to the second round to finish my thought, because I think it's really important. Our consultants, commissioners, members, and again, whether it's Flood Mitigation Advisory Committee, land use, it all comes down to one thing: is making our community better. And I would like to share that if there's anything we can do, whether it's members of the community, as an attorney that's representing applicants, let us know, because I made a suggestion that as process and procedures change, we could circulate this so that when people approach, they know what to expect. It will only make it better. And there are people out there, including myself, that want to make it better. And what you do, Commissioner and members of the HCZM, it's not easy, because it's often thankless. It's hard. You're making very difficult decisions and you're getting a lot of information. But at the same time, it involves, again, the lifeblood and vitality of our community. So the expectations of efficiency are so great, and the stakes are great. But I preface that it was important that the BOT adhere and listen to your comments and input. I don't want it just to go astray. I hear it. You may communicate that, but it's important for our elected officials to also embrace that and give the support to, whether it's your village planner, your attorneys, consultants, to arrive at the success. So I thought it was important for me to share this at some point. Again, not as only as a fellow member of one of the Industrial Advisory Committee and Flood Mitigation Advisory Committee. I used to be on the BAR. I know what it's like. So, there are people out there that are rooting for the success, because these are hard times. These are challenging times. And I also commend Amber and our consultants for we were at a really challenging place over the summer. We lost really good members, but we gained equally as efficient good members in the community. So to help us with this. So, whatever I can do, and I'd be happy to speak to the other land use attorneys that come before you. It's not so much HCZM, some of the ZBA and planning, some of the application processes have kind of been tweaked. I'm just saying, I guess the moral of the story is we're here collectively. We want to make this as much success as possible and a seamless process. So that's pretty much what I wanted to communicate.
Thank you. I appreciate your remarks.
So and as I said, the community, the village, the comments that you share from your experiences, I'm hoping that in the future it's heard and they provide you with what you need to arrive at that success. So I've said my piece, and thank you for hearing us, and we'll see you in a very short distance. I'm sorry, TJ, you are the, CJ, I'm sorry,
TJ's our land use council.
that's okay, because I know okay, met others and I haven't had, okay, nice to
Yeah,
meet you. Andrew.
Filling in for Charlie, who you see more
Right.
frequently.
My condolences, I'm a fellow attorney, so I know what I'm just kidding. All right, Chair, Commissioner, everyone have a great evening. Thanks again. And
Thank you. Always a pleasure, Mr. Betts. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay, we have, now if I remember our agenda correctly, while I toggle between screens. The only non-applicant item we had on is approval of minutes. I hate to be the one to do this again, but I actually look at them pretty carefully before I'm ready to sign off on them for the record. I didn't get any time with the minutes this time. I'm going to want to punt that to the work session next time. And with that, I think we have run our agenda of items, and this will be, this may go down in history as the quickest Harbor and Coastal Zone Management Commission meeting, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to move at this time to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much, folks. Have a good night.
Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank you.